This is the most personal painting I've ever done, and now it's over 2,500 miles away. But before we get into that, I gotta get the cans on. This is Paymoneywubby, and he, alongside his skilled team, is putting together a pop-up gallery in Hollywood. Except, it's not your typical gallery. It's merely a facade, an illusion distracting from its true meaning. And today, I'm unmasking it, along with my process behind the painting that I sent them. I wanted to make this video as a little tribute for all the content that these guys have made over the years. I've been a long-time viewer of the YouTube channel and later the Twitch, and I've watched Wubby's content get better and more ambitious over the years, while the hilarity and authenticity remains. And I gotta give him credit, something you don't see often with big creators. And him and his team are probably the reason that I wanted to make this channel at all. But before I get ahead of myself, who the hell even is this Wubby guy? His Twitch streams are surrounded by a tightly knit community that have watched him over years, myself included. Watching his production turn from scuffed to scuffed with more production value, I guess you could say. Through the years, many niche memes and in-jokes were created, a symptom of having a super active fan base. The phenomenon coining its own meme, you can't miss a stream. Bars. I've been following this content machine for 6 years now, which I don't like saying out loud. I'm kind of an authority on this whole the Wubby lore, okay? But what the hell does this have to do with fine art? You might be screaming into your computer. The art gallery in question is posed as a traditional pop-up, something that you would see in LA, but with a twist. Every piece of art is masquerading as a serious artwork, while really being one of the inside jokes of the Wubby cinematic universe. As soon as I heard this was happening, I knew I had to send them something, so I hit the drawing board, literally. I delved back into the archives of Wubby knowledge, asking myself, what would translate best to a serious gallery painting? Reminding myself, we don't want it to look like it's for the fans. Images flash through my head. You're not safe here. The Angelic Initiative. The Bubble Maker Incident. Turd Kebab. Horse Kim Kardashian. Pope Wubby. Child Poe. The Pikmin Massacre. I even went through Price is Scuffed looking for stills to paint. My mind was expanding and morphing into a giant green, red-headed mass of smoothness. I struggled to imagine any of these events as a single painting. Until it hit me. On Wednesday, September 13th, 2023, while blazed out of their minds, Alex and Wubby were perplexed by a single 4-second video for 7 minutes and 30 seconds straight. I will play only a fraction of the following clip now. Viewer discretion is advised.
She is blanky. What?
Is this not funny to you?
Oh.
Why does he have a little cigarette? How are they doing that? How did they give him a little cigarette? What was that? Why is this not crazy to you? How'd they get a mouse holding a cigarette? Ow, this implies so much. That means there's a tiny cigarette manufacturer out there. You know what I mean? That means that this mouse has expendable income to spend in the yay. What?
He's blinking and
Bro's
shit.
like blinking and shit. It's a filter, bro? Wait,
What comes with the filter? The woman, the cigarette, the whole background? Like, what the fuck? Just specifically a filter for his little hand. Oh, it's CGI?
Bro, it's the filter is ham.
You go to TikTok and play the rat hand holding cigarettes.
Tiny rat and cigarette. Last time, I won't play it again. There's a whole other angle to this too. People keep saying it's a hamster.
What do you mean? Wait, was that a hamster? What is that the filter?
Look at his penis. His little finger is a rat. Last time, I won't play it again. Last time, I won't play it again.
He's going to smoke it. Oh,
No, how this person got that? That's crazy.
Did you see it?
You might be laughing right now, but you shouldn't be laughing. This is a very serious issue. They were suffering from a very severe case of being stun-locked, which is a scientific term, and it's a very deadly disease. This image really made sense to me when it was being contextualized as a serious painting in my brain when I was brainstorming with my massive brain. The absurdity of the image layered with dark intentions of portraying a prostitute with a scumbag hamster, a rodent, something representing a dirty being. It worked on so many levels. The thought of an art critic looking at this candidly was absurd but believable, and kind of made me laugh a little bit when I was thinking about it.
Bullshit. bullshit derivative. That I love. I absolutely love.
But I was immediately faced with a challenge. The image was about 3 pixels. I went to do a reverse image search to find another source of the image, or possibly the original source. What I found was 2 images, one being higher quality, which was exactly what I was looking for. But it left me with a question of where the original video came from. Does anyone know? If anyone watching knows, please leave a comment. I then took this image into Krita to size it for the canvas I had, as well as add some different elements, tweak the colors a bit, make it a little bit more defined, and a little bit more my own. I wanted to add even more stream memes in a subtle way, so here's what I did. Using the little bits and pieces of stuff that's around the image already, I added Wubby's chat tattoo to Barbie's back.
Damn Webs, are you a truck driver? For Little Debbie, cause you packing cake.
And yes, I know that's not where he got it, but I thought it made sense for the composition. I was also workshopping the idea of incorporating the floor watermelon, but the reference image was kind of shit, and it didn't really make any sense for the background. I changed the bills on the floor to Zimbabwe dollars.
2.7K, huh? Who knows this one? So I was sent a Zimbabwean $1 billion note, and people, well, let's just see if the clip shows it. Whoa! $1 million?
Zimbabwe dollars?
Wait, it's Zimbabwe
You
money,
suck.
though. This can't go far.
Oh, we're millionaires!
$2,700? There is the moment someone convinced me that it was worth $2,700 or 2.7K. And I believed it. Yeah, it turns out it was all a lie. It's fucking worthless. So now, anytime the answer is a number, I could be asking for a phone number. Anytime the answer is a number, it's 2.7K.
I added a bottle of Grey Goose. I added the Costco cheese pizza in what would later be turned into a cheesy onion burrito.
I now take the pizza and I de-cheese
You
the
suck.
pizza. I roll the cheese up into a cheesy onion burrito and I set it aside for later. I'm going to do that now. This is the best part, the cheesy onion burrito.
Later made the Playboy magazine into Tan-Faced Wubby, and I was also thinking of changing it into the picture of his dad with the funny bird. It was not really easily recognizable at that scale. Now that I had my reference image fully photoshopped and referenceable, I had to translate this into a sketch. Now there are a few ways to go about this: carbon transfer, just freeballing it, or using a grid. I went with the grid system, so I was fully drawing the sketch while working within the guidelines of the grid, so I was as accurate and personal as possible. I started by sharpening my pencil using the Lincoln technique. I normally get mine done artisanally, but it was such short notice and I couldn't get a rush order done. Alright, here we are in the sketching mode zone here. You can see there's those 2 little picture references I printed out. One of them is just the original image, and the other one is a black and white version of the image that I photoshopped with a grid on it. So that grid is going to come in handy because basically I'm going to be upscaling it onto the canvas. I'm going to draw a grid here. Right now I'm just kind of painting on some white just to get some of those darker areas. I actually painted this painting on top of a really old painting that I was doing. There's a Lincoln technique there. You can see that again. And then now we go into gridding. So the gridding is really tedious and stupid, and I probably should have just carbon transferred it, but you know, I'm a stickler. You know, I was trying to be as personal as possible. It's the beginning of the video. I wanted this is my most personal painting. It's so personal. Which honestly, it's not that big of a deal, but I did technically draw the whole sketch completely by hand, which is cool. So that's what I thought when I was thinking about it. I'm sorry about my mic is pretty bad. I was talking really close to the mic, and also I was sick before in some of the other parts of this recording. So you see me starting with the sketch there. The black and white is very helpful just because it allows you to really see the value, especially when you're actually painting. Because sometimes when you're using color, it kind of gets misconstrued in the different colors you're using. And yeah, there's me adding the little Costco cheese pizza and the Zimbabwe dollars. And I'd say the hardest part about doing the sketch was the fucking face. The face was actually, I had to go over it a bunch of times. I had to paint over it with white and resketch it, I think 3 times. The chin kept looking off and stuff. But you know, you just kind of like get over it. You just kind of lock in and just do it. And I think the face of the hamster slash rat slash mouse, whatever the fuck it is, I actually don't know. But anyways, the face was kind of looked a little bit off at the beginning, but later when I was painting it, it kind of made more sense. It kind of looked better. And that's a really good lesson for you, everyone listening. When you're painting, you can always just paint over it. You can always make it work. And don't be too set on your sketch. Just feel free to, you know, explore, I guess. I don't fucking know. Yeah, there's the sketch. It's a sketch, and it's very rough. You don't wanna be super particular and meticulous in my sketch, or at least I don't like to be. But you know, to each their own. I'm sure there's a lot of people who make very technical sketches, but since I'm just referencing an already existing image that's pretty solid and is taken from realism, I'm just gonna lay down a sketch and just get to painting, you know. Starting with an underpainting, I coated the canvas with two predominant colors, purple and orange. These two colors are complementary colors, meaning they're opposite to each other on the color wheel. The original image is super saturated, making these colors really clash hard. So to combat that, I tried to tone down the purple a little bit, bringing the main focus of the piece to the hamster and the doll. After I did the underpainting, I went over the underpainting with kind of a wet brush just to kind of lift out the highlighted areas and kind of get some more white in there, since the hamster is a very largely white mass in this composition. Look at me using big words. Then I went in with some of the dark areas, not too dark though, but just enough to kind of get the idea, and blocked those out. Went in all the shadow areas and did that. Then I started doing some more midtones and highlights. I usually go darks, highlights, and then render out all the midtones. I also started doing the background there. A lot of little tiny brush strokes, and even later I'm going with this round brush that I'm using on Barbie right now. I use that for the background to add even more texture and kind of bring out the fuzzy, velvety look of the background a little bit more. I wanted to shade in that part underneath her chin a bit more, just so it kind of makes her jawline a little bit more mogular. She's mogging. And then went and rendered the background a bit more. And, you know, feel free, you don't have to watch this whole part of the video. You can just skip to the end and see the finished product. But I use a lot of really small brushes when I'm painting. And that's because I do Magic the Gathering altars and miniature paintings. A little shameless plug. Go check out the Instagram and my other YouTube videos if you feel so inclined and you like that kind of stuff. But I think the really small brushes lend itself well to the image, and it's got a lot of little small little details in it that you have to look at. You know, you have to kind of take your time. It's kind of like pointillism almost, how if you stare at it for a long time, you see more details and stuff. That's kind of the quality I wanted it to have, to get the personal nature of all the little stream memes. I even painted it with that kind of spirit in mind, I guess you could say. And I don't know, I think it's funny how the rat is a redhead and Wubby's a redhead as well. I don't know, I feel the image really found me. It really spoke to me. Anyways. This part was the most terrifying part of the process. After 12 hours of work, this is where it could all fall apart. Varnishing. The broad majority of the fine art community uses varnishes to protect their work and add depth to their paintings. And I wanted this piece to be as good as it possibly could be. So I went to the internet like I often do. I landed on this stuff called Gamvar in a satin finish. Why satin? Because there's nothing I hate more than a massive gloss finish glare. I don't know what it is, I just hate gloss. Fight me in the comments or something. I've never varnished even one of my paintings, so this was super nerve-wracking. But I think it was a total success. But I'll let you be the judge. Oh, look at that puppy. Oh, look at that little before and after for you. What a beautiful painting. Thank you so much if you made it this far in the video. There we have it, Vermin. That's what I deemed the piece. It's called Vermin. This is a piece that really means a lot to me, and it would be really funny if they don't even use this in the GLORG gallery. That would really suck, but it'd be funny though. Not for me though. I would probably cry. I know you're probably thinking, wow, this guy is really obsessed with this in this parasocial relationship on the internet, and you know, I can't really argue with that, but like, you get this really wicked video out of my weird little fixation. So make sure to drop a subscribe if you feel like doing so. Leave a hateful comment if you feel like it. I have an Instagram, alter sleeves, all in the description for you to go check out if you want some more Sethington content, and maybe go watch a little video that's in the corner right there. Should probably be on screen right now, I don't know. But anyways, Wubby, if you're watching this, keep up the good work, dude. You're doing what you're doing is good. I hope you really cherish this painting. Anyways, love you, bye.
Blowing that shit up, leaving nothing but ash. Now we open up the queue so we can rake in the cash. And I got 4 Korean girls and I be making a pass. Green flower, pretty like it's shaking that ass. Anime rap in a German car. Okay, 4. Like a no up with nothing but cards. Okay, 4. GLORG is on the 9's regard. Okay, 4. Fuck up your message and chat and I'll make it a bar.